Hi everyone, I'm Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net. Thanks for joining me. I want to talk today about men. I happen to love men and I think I understand them. And there are times I feel so urged to talk to women and let them know what they're not seeing, because I know there's a lot of bad behavior out there. I get it. And I have experienced it myself. But there is something that has happened over time, and I've looked at this question and it bugged me. For about 20 years of my life, I could not figure out the answer to this. And the question was, how does a man that I think has loved me completely shut down? Either in a fight, or because he's angry or hurt, or after a breakup. Like, how is it there and then poof, it's gone? Because to a female mind, this is not answerable. There is no logic for this. And I saw this happen so many times, that men who love you can just, it goes void. It's blank. It's like there's nothing there. So what we start to think of, the normal thing where a woman would go is, I made it up. Maybe it was never real. If he can pull away to this degree, my God, maybe I was living in a fairy tale. It never happened. I thought he loved me, but I made this up in my mind. I'll give you an example of this. The thing that really prompted me to find an answer, not just myself. I think I'm more prompted when I see things happen to my friends. I have to really figure it out. My girlfriend was at the point of getting engaged to a guy, and she wanted a family, and she wanted kids and the whole thing. So they went to look at homes. And at the end of the day, they'd found a home that they liked. And he put down money and went into contract on it, right? So he put his bid in. They were in the process. Okay. The next day, he calls her in the morning, 8 o'clock, to tell her that their relationship is not going to work out. Completely clinical, transactional in his information, just the facts. First, she thought he was joking with her. And then she realized he wasn't. She was absolutely stunned. And he said that that experience made him understand that she was not the partner for him. Okay. Now, he wouldn't even address this. He was so cold. How could a guy go from giving you a ring and being engaged to that cold? How does that happen? My girlfriend's mind was blown. And I had to figure it out. And I kept thinking about it, and I kept thinking about it. And finally I asked a guy, and I'm bouncing this off of him, and he said to me, oh, that's easy. It's the male ego. I'm like, what? What do you mean by that? He said, well, if we ever feel hurt or threatened or scared, we completely shut down. It disconnects. We don't have that. Women can't disconnect. We can fool ourselves. We can say we don't feel. This is a package deal. You might have noticed. So this odd thing is like the emotions trip the wire and they go into a deep freeze. If you are right now crying your eyes out, you've broken up with your ex, and your ex treats you as though they have never met you or you have the plague, this is the reason. It's not that they didn't love you. It's not that you didn't matter. If you've had a fight with your partner and they go a million miles away and you start to think that you're being delusional, that there's no relationship there, this is why. So men tend to fear, or some kind of threat will make them go to anger. And to not feel an emotion, they'll go to cold. The absence of an emotion allows a man to think. We have a very complex job every day. We feel everything. And we have a multitude of things going on, but men are very single focused. So they can't have something tripping their wires. So it is a survival mechanism that happens to them. I need to tell you this because men, I think, can be the most noble, loving, sensitive, and romantic creatures around. Part of the thing is we don't understand how they're wired. And we will almost always come up with an analysis that makes us look poorly, that makes us look like the victim. It's so ingrained in women. Oh, poor me. He abused me. I was hurt. Of course. There's history behind that story. But it's not always the case. Men warm up again when they're not feeling threatened. Men warm up again when they feel good about themselves and when there's a sense of balance. When the danger is gone, they'll come out of their cave. But just so that you know what the real story is. You weren't delusional. Didn't make it up in your mind. And yes, he loved you. And probably the amount of cold is absolutely equal to the amount of warmth that he had for you. It's the opposite, to protect him so he can function. I hope this helps you, ladies. I know they're a little confusing, they're different, but not to worry, we're really confusing to them too. Thanks a lot. Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net. Please write me what you'd like me to talk about. I'm more than happy to do so. Tune in to the Susan Winter Show on iTunes. Subscribe to it. It's the podcast version of what you're seeing here. Thanks a lot.